If this is something we want to go into, I don't know.
Yeah, no. I was gonna talk about like the whole perception of Islam and Muslims. Is it getting worse for Muslims in America? I don't think that's the case.
Why is that?
I don't think that's the case. I think things have gotten better. I mean, in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, things were terrible. People were being harassed by the government. They were harassed by. I mean, the harassment is still kind of happening, but I'm saying, like, you know what I mean. I think it was much worse. I think Muslims now are being more and more accepted. It's not as bad as, I'm not saying that it's good right now. Obviously we have a lot of there's a lot that needs to be done for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as bad as it was in the immediate aftermath of 9/11. I also want to say, like, the statistics also show interesting things, that if the person knows one Muslim, right, just as a friend or an acquaintance or a coworker, their image of Islam completely changes.
Oh, for sure.
The overwhelming majority of people that have a positive view of Islam, it's because they know a Muslim. And so one of the things that we were trying to do was to get people to go out there and be what this means. I mean, the onus, always, yani, if there's something that I can do, I need to be doing it. And so if what will fix the situation is by me being a proud Muslim, you know what I mean, I'm out there, my coworkers know who I am, my neighbors know who I am, etc. That's going to change perspectives big time. You know what I mean? We can talk about all these different ways that we want people to be more tolerant, but at the end of the day, people are people. And if I know a person who is of this out group, if I identify with an in group and then there's an out group over here, and if I know a person from the out group and I'm like, wait a second, I'm seeing on the news that all these Muslims are terrorists, at least that's the claim, but I have Muhammad here that I work with, and he's such a good guy. Like, he's a stand-up guy. He's one of the best employees that we have in our company, and he's like this and this and this. Then that'll cause me to kind of doubt what I'm seeing, and I realize, wait a second, what I'm being told is not correct. But if Muhammad changes his name to Mo and never talks about Islam, he doesn't even identify as a Muslim, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna have that positive image of Islam. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes we think that what I do to help me personally, by just kind of blending in and being under the radar, I think that it's helping me, but actually in the long term, it's not. It's not neither helping me nor is it helping my community.
Yeah. So what would you say is the goal of Muslims in America? I think someone asked this question to Sheikh Yasir Qadi in a recent lecture. I think he was doing it at the university that opened in Pakistan. He said it preservation and propagation, like terms of preserving your faith and then just sharing your faith. And he also said one of the best ways to share your faith is to just be an upstanding citizen, and then also be Muslim. Like, you don't have to go door to door, Jehovah's Witness type, sharing Islam, but just to be an upstanding citizen and to also keep your faith. So what in your mind is the best way, or the goal, really?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard his talk. I haven't heard that talk, but I think, you know, the points are very valid. You know what I mean? We need to preserve the faith, and honestly, some of us are doing a better job than others in preserving the faith of ourselves and our you know, children and everybody else. Propagation, same thing. There is an onus of da'wah, and da'wah, and like you said, it's not just going door to door and talking to people, or apologetics, or refutations, or, you know what I mean, responses, or YouTube, you know, whatever, or Twitter. This is you being an upstanding citizen, you being a good Muslim, etc., but also not being afraid of identifying. You know, the verse that you know, that in Surah Fussilat, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. Who is better in speech than the one who calls to Allah? So he's calling to Allah, and he does righteous deeds. So he's backing it up with actions. So he's not just giving da'wah, but his actions are also giving da'wah. وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. But then the last one, I think, is the least understood. وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And he said, I am a Muslim. Part of your da'wah is merely identifying as whatever it is that you want people to understand. You being a good Muslim is actually a form of da'wah, according to this verse. So this is not something that he's just saying out of nowhere. There's a backing for it, and a lot of people diminish this. You know how many? I mean, I'm sure you know this. Most Muslim students in a public high school do not identify as a Muslim, meaning they're not public with the fact that they're Muslim or that they're any different, or they'll go by a nickname, or they'll do whatever. And it's tough because they're like a lone fish in a huge ocean full of sharks, and they don't want to, you know what I mean, be different or stand out, and that pressure on them and stuff like this. But as you grow older, as you grow up, you have to. There's at one point you have to embrace who it is you are. That question of identity, who I am. I shouldn't be afraid of it. I shouldn't be afraid of judgment. I shouldn't. And having our parents and our Islamic communities, you know, like our masajid, instill in us a sense of pride to our identity. Like, don't be afraid to say that you're Muslim. It's not a problem. You can be Muslim and American. Unfortunately, because of the way that I think, as parents understand it, it gets passed on to the kids unintentionally, which is that being fully American and being fully Muslim are at odds. When in fact, they're not at odds. You know, and a person, well, no, there's American things that are antithetical to Islam. Like what? Like drinking? Who said that drinking is an American institution?
Yeah.
Who said that going to a club is an American institution? It's not.
Yeah.
That's not what defines America.
Right.
You know, what defines America is very different. If you read the Constitution, there's nothing in there. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the ideals of liberty that define America. It's live and let live.
Sure.
That's what's enshrined in the Constitution.
So why is that antithetical?
Well, I didn't say it was.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, like, a lot of these parents are thinking, like, oh, I have to, if you know, oh, you're so Americanized. I'm like, what does that even mean, dude?
Yeah.